Hey guys, what's up and welcome to this evening's Q&A. So tonight's Q&A comes in from John. He's a frequent question asker, which is always a good thing because the more questions I have, the more answers I can give you guys. But tonight's question is, can you worry too much about everything, such as food, water, tea, coffee, etc.? And the simple answer, which I could wrap this video up in 30 seconds, is yes. You can definitely worry too much about everything. Now, on the flip side of this, of course, we have to worry about it enough to actually make sure that we're well informed so that we can make better decisions in relation to those things. But we do definitely have to be careful about the line between wanting to understand or learn enough for you to confidently take action. And then, of course, on the flip of that is just literally being scared of everything. Scared that you might eat the wrong food, scared that coffee's bad for you, scared that not getting enough sleep is bad for you, and so on. Like, if you're going to fear any of these things on top of the potential negative that this thing already has, then of course it multiplies the negative physiological effect. Because ultimately our nervous system, so within the body, the autonomic nervous system, as it's called, regulates and dictates and controls basically all of the involuntary processes that go on, including our fight or flight response or our stress response. So let's say I'm going to have a bad food and I choose to have a cake, which we all know isn't maybe the best thing, maybe in taste, but not necessarily in terms of its health giving benefits. So I have that, and that will have a potentially negative effect on my physiology. But the catch is, if I'm fearful of the cake when I have it, or fearful of the fact that I might not lose weight this week, or people will think that I'm a glutton or I'm a fatty or whatever it might be that comes with me having this cake, if there are additional fears and concerns on top of the negative effect of the cake, that's only going to increase or exacerbate that effect. Now, we also have to consider that sometimes, depending on how mentally and emotionally responsive we are, then the mental and emotional response to doing so or worrying about may actually be even more detrimental than how our body or physiology would have just dealt with the cake. In some respects, we might have just been better off eat the cake, the biscuit, the sweet, or the treat, whatever the thing is, and let your body deal with that, the excess sugar and maybe the processed carbs and all the rest of it. That may have potentially had less of a long-term negative impact on our health than constantly worrying about should I, shouldn't I, is it good, is it bad, and so on. So we do have to be careful because, yes, we have a physical experience through our physical body, but we have to remember that essentially we're a spiritual being or an energetic being having a physical experience. So any negative energetic shifts and things that we experience as well will also have a physical effect. So if we are fearing foods, should I eat this, should I eat that? Oh, they said red meat is bad and it clogs your arteries. They said that sugar's bad for us, saturated fat's bad for us, and all the rest of it. It's like, it's getting to this point where nothing that I actually want to eat is going to serve me according to all these narratives and headlines. So it's all bad. So I better start fearing food. Then, of course, it's tea, coffee, and all the rest of it as well. Well, caffeine is bad, so I've got to be careful there. And basically doing anything that's perceived as being fun or enjoyable turns out to be bad for me. So now we start to fear even the things that were positives to us and things that we enjoy doing. We now maybe still engage, but not at the same level. And if we do engage, it has this negative psychology behind it and this negative emotional state that then, of course, ruins the experience overall. So definitely, John, I would say, yes, you can worry too much. And that's not to say you shouldn't worry at all, like I mentioned earlier, but we do have to be careful at the level at which we worry. And instead, try not to be fearful and worry in that sense, but be curious enough to learn enough information to fully understand what's right for you so that you can move forward. Now, when I say what's right for you, the only way we really know that is when we actually engage in the thing. So I can sit here and say, this is good, this is bad, that you should do this and you shouldn't do that. And so can every other expert and guru out there. But the truth is, your body will tell you the truth. All that we're sharing is our own experience. Oh, this is how this thing affects me, or this is how I've seen this thing affect some of my clients. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it will affect you in the same way. And that goes for the positive aspect or the negative. The only way that we actually know if something is truly good or bad for each of us as an individual is when we choose to engage in that thing and then actually listen to how our body responds to it or speaks back to us through the language of symptoms. Yes, that takes a little bit of time to do, and learning how to become more conscious and mindful about the body and how it's responding to foods or the way I engage in physical activity or temperature or sleep and so on. But once you've done that, it actually only takes around 8 to 12 weeks on average to really sort of tune yourself into what your body's saying to you. But once we've done that, then we no longer actually need other health experts, gurus, and all the rest of it, because we already know, well, as soon as I engage in this thing, my body will tell me if it was right for me or not. Yes, of course, on occasion, you may need a bit of help, input, guidance from somebody else, but the ultimate decision will rest and lie with you because your body will give you the answers that you need. So that's what I'll leave you guys with tonight. Hope that was a clear answer for John's question of, can you worry too much about things like food, water, caffeine, etc.? And as I said, the simple answer is yes, but there are some nuances and things that we need to consider as well. So that's what I'll leave you guys with today. Any questions, people? Let me know in the comments below. And if not, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take it easy, people, and I shall chat to you soon.